It's weird, man. So, hello, welcome, of course, time for Plot on Demand, episode 4, Death Note author, of course, and, I think the anime is pretty good. As I talked about in my last live stream, and also my ranking, that this anime isn't like, it's a little bit, you feel a little harsh on it, I guess. I feel a little harsh on it, right? Because it's like, it is not on that, it's like, death, I used to hear me a bit, right? I grew up with Death Note. I grew up, like, I kind of watched it at 17, 18 or something. But I was watching Death Note weekly, right? This whole seasonal anime thing, I think a lot of people, I would say, get into it right now, but obviously it's like some people are getting into it now, right? So maybe a few years ago, whatever, right? But I've been watching weekly anime since ever, right? That's like, fact for me now. I also feel it's very natural for me so I can watch one episode per week. I can do here on this channel and so on, right? And same with games when you play them on this mouse, yeah. Not the whole like binge and never been to that, right? So Death Note, then I watched it weekly, right? When it aired. So that is a lot of years ago, right? Of course, it's a masterpiece and it's all this grandiose anime that everyone has seen, right? And so on. And yeah, so I really watched it weekly, discussing it with classmates. I was in high school, right? And so on. So I had a few high school classmates that watched anime and so on. We were watching this like Death Note and Naruto and so on, right? For Metal Alchemist, stuff like that. So yeah, it goes way back, right? And then this anime, it's like, it's not bad in any stretch of the animation. I really love Nasse, of course, my little ass angel. Yeah, of course I do. Love that girl. Who wouldn't? But to be fair, I feel negative with this anime. Because it feels kind of tropey, right? It's like, oh, here's the future game thing, future diaries, and here's the Hunger thing, and it's like, oh, I think especially the Saki, as I guessed correctly last week, was gonna be, of course, Saki, right? The girl, with the powers. I guessed that before I saw the episode, I put on my Saki t-shirt. Well, actually, on accident, I had it during the day anyway. But it was kind of like, yeah, I put on the Saki shirt. And I was like, oh yeah, perfect, I have Saki on me, because you're obviously gonna have an alien, right? And that, to me, is a little bit like, this anime, I don't know, you can't expect more, right? You know what I mean? I love this genre. I think one issue that I love this genre, I'm a huge fan of this Hunger Game and Battle Royale genres, right? I've seen, Batum and Darwin's Game and etc. Of course, Mirai many times. But Batum is for them, I wish I had more, yeah, Batum is very cool. But anyway, so of course I've seen it all before, right? And I guess I'm hoping that, the Death Note authors are gonna bring something new to the table, I suppose. But it doesn't feel much new, right? Because it also has like Kodea's vibe and so on. I mean, it's not like exactly the same as any other anime, but I don't think so far it has like diverged or been unique enough. I don't know. I expect more. I don't know. I guess my hopes are like really high, and then it's like this anime isn't bad, but it's not a masterpiece either so far. So it's a little bit like but maybe it's too early to have for it. But anyway, I don't know. I'm thinking about it for a while now, I guess, these latest weeks, and I've been talking to a lot of friends that watch the anime too, right? Four people that watch the anime too, and everyone's like, everyone's like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, everyone I talk to are like, this anime, it's okay, but no one is like, oh, so you love it? No, I mean, it's okay, yeah. But I do feel everyone is kind of like that. It's like, love is anime. No, it's like, it's okay. Kind of like that. Yeah, I feel no one wants to say it's bad. Everyone is like, yeah, it's a good anime, but not like it's not that right. Whatever. That's what episode. So 3, 2, 1, and go. But I do think about it a lot, honestly. This is goes on my brain, right? I reflect over stuff a lot, and I've been definitely thinking about why this anime feels so. But I think it's because I have very high expectations, right? I have very, very high expectations. If I never seen Death Note and I watched the anime, it would be a little bit like, it would be different, definitely. But yeah, I think these people are working for him, right? Why would they do attack him, but it doesn't make any sense. They're all Power Rangers, right? Metro. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, wouldn't it be his team? Why are they shooting at him for? There might just be some trick, right? Because they're all. Yeah, maybe we can give them powers or whatever. Because it's like, I love this part. Our friend pointed out to me immediately afterwards that I love it. Like, don't make a scene, don't do this thing. And then immediately it's like, whoa, yeah, and it's like surprise Pikachu's face. Don't, yeah, nah! don't be, don't show them, don't overreact, you know. He's like, whoa. Yeah, immediately they're both like being shocked when they see this thing, right? Yeah, it's like, okay. Yeah, so they're immune then. Yeah, it's either he's fake or it's another one, but are these two then teaming up? Yeah, so he's another person he's in love with, of course. It's like a trap. Yeah, or it's fake, right? Yeah. So why did two work together then? I don't know. But why this? I just understand why are they appearing in their own suits? That's the biggest question I feel. So aren't so he was fake, like whatever. Yeah, that was like one of those like sure, yeah, like one of the like most straight up tears had last week, right? But why are they in their own Metro suits for? That's the question. Yeah, why are they coming in their own suits for? Like. Why are they coming in their own Metropoliman red and blue suit? Like that's the... Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this episode's gonna be the one where they turn into Death Note quality of anime. Yeah, maybe the twist is coming now, right? I still feel that her being his love interest though and also having the powers was... yeah. That was like, well, yeah, never seen that before. I want to negative, but come on, it was so obvious that Saki was gonna have powers. But I mean, because the opening, I guess, supposed to because there are two more range in the opening. Because the opening has a green and red one too, you know, pink ring. That's probably where I feel the most, like, because I watched in the opening, I'm like, wait, is that there are four Metro people, and they're not in his team, or like what? That's probably one of the reasons why I'm a little bit like, wait a minute, what's gonna happen here? Yeah, like why? But yeah, let's see what happens. Here we go for reals, I feel. He was fake. Yeah, not a big... Yeah, so these guys are of course trying to shoot him. Or could just... Well, they don't have a white arrow, I guess. So you can't kill him. Yeah, why are they in their own suits for, and why they look so similar for? How did the aliens build them or something? And again, the opening does spoil that, and a pink and a green one coming too, right? So that's also like another two teams. And also, why are they all in Japan for? I don't know. But she said that Nasse was like, they're all in Japan. Like, why? No. God has to be in Japan. Yeah. Okay, I guess. But what's their plan though? They're just gonna be like, come out and fight us! You can shoot them from, yeah. They're like, come on! Like, what's the plan? Their plan seems crazy bad. Instead of course, pushing the... Oh, we're gonna have their backstories now? Okay, yeah, I guess we're gonna have... IS? I suppose so. We're gonna have these other two candidate backstories. Yeah, I guess so. I'm also gonna do it, of course. It's gonna. I failed school. It's also gonna go. It's also gonna lose it, of course. Failing school there. Also, they both failed their exams. Very typical Japanese site, right? Very hard to get into. Yeah, so they both failed. And yeah. So I mean, I have all the, I read Love Hina 10 times, right? I have read Love Hina. I know what this is about. They failed to get into Todai. Yeah. I have all Love Hina books, of course. One of my favorite mangas. Classic harem. So if you don't know the Japanese culture, it's a very Japanese culture, right? You have to pass this very hard exams usually. Depends, of course, on what school you want to go to. But yeah, there's a lot of like hardcore schools to get into, like Todai, and then you the very hard entry exams, right? And a lot of people become runins because they fail and they keep going to cram school or whatever for years to try to get into the right school. So instead of like I think this thing's kind of weird in Japanese culture, that it is better in some people's aspect to like, instead of taking like a less common school, less famous school. Oh, here it comes. Oh, they bought the babes though, more babes. Nice, yeah, angels. They both have babes. Yeah, nice. But that didn't display much though. They just got the powers. Yeah, okay, they just got the powers, yeah. But here comes the aliens, they just didn't tell them anything. Just like, power, boys. Yeah, didn't tell them much, just gave them powers. They don't even have the jump. Didn't have the jump, man. Well, I was trying to. I guess maybe every character has the same backstory then of trying to, you know, die right. Yeah. Doesn't that feel? That's obviously a path now. Could be the same with Metropoliman, right? And Saki was very depressed over her family or something. So that actually sounds very. Doesn't that sound very likely right now? I feel like every candidate has probably tried to die right, and then the aliens appear for them. That sounds like how it's gonna work. That actually sounds quite likely now, I would say. This is spoiling everything. It's like, that's right, I'm a god! Oh, wait. Did he test anything? When did he test this shit? He's like, yeah, the rareness of the arrow is... This also feels really stupid that he has said this loudly in front of everyone. Because it helps the other candidates too. Yeah. I didn't know shit! Nasse knows nothing, so that's also... Yeah, I mean, we're idiots, so yeah, but like... Yeah, so maybe they have very competent aliens, or like, this is exactly the range of the arrow. So how did this guy know this shit, right? But I don't know what they keep taunting him for. Like, why would he pop up? Yeah, like, why would he care? And he could just shoot them with guns. You know what I mean? He could kill them with guns, right? They can of course dodge it, but still, he could snipe them when they're not ready for it, perhaps. If it's a little bit like... Yeah, if it's really... I mean, this strategy seems kind of off, right? Like, why would you... Yeah, but he just knows it already, doesn't he know it? He's also like, I take this much minutes to shoot an arrow. Why would he know this? It's like, you know, 0.3 seconds to shoot an arrow. Like, why do you know this? Well, you know, I've been doing the math. So yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, but I don't know why you answered them for. Like, what's the strategy here? And also, why would he care about this guy? He's in love though, so why would he tell him anything? Well, not really, because... Oh, she can fly too? I guess she's probably pink, right? She's probably pink. She's probably pink because it has to be a cute girl that's pink, right? Okay, this seems really weird now. She's probably pink though. Like, she's like, yeah, putting in a wrench in your strategies. Yeah, she can only fly, of course. Yeah, she's a weakling. Yeah. She's a she's probably, you know, pink ranger. See, I feel they're all trying to, you know, die, right? Yeah, that's probably what they are. She's also bullied and so on. Yeah, they all have like tragic past, right? And she also, Saki also has tragic past. They all have very obvious tragic past, right? For some reason. What's her plan though? I don't know. She's like, I don't want to die or something. Yeah, her strategy seems really bad. Actually, it makes sense though. Yeah, let me shoot you with the red arrow. It actually makes sense that if like if he can charm you, it's fine, but here comes the real Metropoliman though, I suppose. Yeah, and stabs her basically. Yeah, oh, that's like kind of like an R scene there. Oh my god. Yeah, Metropolitan! Yeah, here we go. I love you. Here we go. But why is he so much faster than them? I don't know. He's like a he's the Flash. I don't know. Don't they have the same wing power? Isn't that the only thing she had? The wing power? Yeah. Don't they all have the same? I guess not. He's like all any wing power. It's like I have 4 wings. I don't know. He seems a lot better than them at flying. Like why are they so slow for? Yeah, I don't know. But honestly, why can't you shoot them for? He seems to be way faster than them. Like they have the same power, but not really. It's like. There's a lot of angels there. A lot of this is like a man ends, right? That this is how they decide what God is. Yeah, this is how we make what God is. People fight to kill each other. So this is always like a great way to get a God, yeah. But I mean, this is like a lot of animes, right? Yeah. This is definitely a way to judge who should be God. I agree perfectly with that. Anime makes sense. Are they gonna expose that though? Feels incredibly self-exposing. Nakama say. Yeah, I think that he's gonna get shot, right? Like, it's a super. Well, here they are though. So there's another girl there. Okay, so there's still Pink Rainier. Why did they all prepare this suit for? Green and pink. I like how the commentator and the announcer is like green or pink as well. Yeah. Why did they all come in like Power Ranger suits for? Like how? When they're all like they're not supposed to know each other. These 4 characters. Why did they all like set up this? Yeah, it feels very very weird that they all have the same. So basically, all the candidates are almost here now though. Also kind of weird in the storyline because now there's so many candidates. So we have 4 plus the flying one. But these are walking. This might be fake though. But yeah, so but if they aren't fake, it's like 5 people and 7 and him 8. It's almost all of them. Everybody's already dead. Yeah, this anime is going speedrun. Like it's like 10 chapters. But this might be lying though. It's not a thing. You only have arrows. Yeah. Yeah, they might be lying though. I don't know. You know, they can't fly. Kind of losers. You can't avoid shit. He's like, yeah, it's not a pink and green. Like, why is this a thing for? Yeah, okay. It feels so weird that they have bunch of Power Rangers now. Why is like how did they know this? It feels like they have tutor site prepared to. Yeah, but I mean, how did they? Well, yeah, like how did they all prepare this? Kakoi! Yeah, they were like, yeah. If we join with 6 people, and we join now. Yeah, there is 6 people. It's like there's half of the angel candidates. Then we have half the whole of all the candidates. Of course, the cute girl is gonna do stuff for him, right? Yeah. The little kawaii girl is gonna do for him. Yeah. This is cheerleader now. Hello, yeah, kawaii. It's like the kawaii girl. She's just there to do cute sound effects. No, the real one is over there, I guess. The studio or something. He's incredibly fast, which seems silly. He's gonna kill them all, right? But yeah, he didn't swap out something, but and he just kills them. But it feels like he's just incredibly fast. It doesn't feel like an intelligent plan. Yeah, he keeps saying you're too slow, right? That's what I mean. He's just so fast. I'm like, I don't know. It's not really impressive, honestly, but he's so fast. How do you treat him? He's just overpowered. Yeah. Kills one. takes the other one, you know, charm the other one. Yeah, so blue is dead immediately. Yeah, I like Mr. Blue, but she might just be a normal person. We never saw her powers, right, so I don't know. Might have 3 people. I like the cute, yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm a cute girl! I'm here to be cute. Yeah, I used but how could she fast so fast for? Ah, this makes no sense, man. Yeah, but how did she fly so fast that she could swap so easily? And this is, I feel, it's pretty weak, so honestly. Because how did she fly past us so fast? How are they so slow? He basically can teleport, but the other two can't. Like, and she could also kind of teleport when she wanted to. Oh yeah, they use like greed. Yeah, they use like greed, right? But wouldn't they be able to question them? You can kidnap their family, I guess, and you can do, yeah, money and so on. But I mean, they could have asked them. This is really stupid, honestly. But I think it's really poorly because. I mean, they could have, you know. They could just question them. Or are you working for him? Right? Yeah, if he's so stupid. They didn't, but if he's really. That these guys are paranoid but incredibly stupid. That's what I said earlier. They could just question them. If they shot them with the arrow, they could question him if you're working for him, right? And if you're part-time working for him, they would have answered that. You're working for him. They couldn't be able to lie to them, so they would have told them. So how did they get them to the middle of the stage without asking them the very basic questions about that? So it's just incredibly stupid. So it feels like this is kind of the talented Nana. He wins because the guys are really stupid. They had him charmed. They didn't ask him any questions. Like it's really poor. And his strategy only worked because they're really stupid. Yeah, so he's probably just staring at the aliens as always does. He probably knows what they are because he keeps doing. Yeah, so the little girl is, I mean, she's kawaii at least. Yeah. Really? What are the limits then? What's this? Yeah, what are the limits? I want to everything. What are the limits? Wouldn't he die then? Like, the aunt, you know. Really? Since when is that a limit? Why can't they ask him to just do it if they love him? This seems really stupid. It feels like it's rewriting their rules here suddenly. Yeah. But before the aunt seemed to be willing to die for him, right? Yeah, she's gonna hurt her arms, of course. But it feels like it's rewriting the rules of the system immediately. Yeah, and then he's dead. Like, why did he even do this stuff? And he's dead. Yeah, okay, just kill him then. I don't even know why he even tried that. Like, what's the point in shoot him? After he's charmed, then you shoot him, right? I just want to hurt the little girl because it's fun or something. It's like, yeah, it's like, I just want to hurt the little teenage girl because it's fun. It feels a little bit like, okay, what's the point of that? Can you give her, you know, he give her the powers? Yeah, obviously not. Yeah, I'm gonna. But they didn't try to save the other people, so I don't know why we would save this girl for. I mean, sure, the girl is more, you know, is more sad. But he didn't save the other people from dying, so I don't know why he cares that much more about the little girl. Yeah, she's cuter, but you know, he didn't. He's only gonna jump in now and save her. he let everyone else die though, but this little girl, she's so cute, I have to save her, right? So if it's a little bit cringy, it'll be like, oh no, I'm gonna step in because she's cute. I'll just leave that. I don't know no point of staring at this thing if I'm gonna engage anyway. Just gonna, yeah, it's just gonna make him die, right? Or Aniel. This guy's really evil though, so yeah, I don't know why we care for. Can you hurt the angels? Whenever you shoot the cute angel, does she die? Yeah. I mean, you're really playing into his strategy here to make them cry, so you know the other candidates will appear, like the main character, right? Or Saki or whatever, yeah. That they're gonna, you know, pop up here and save them. But I mean, you know, they didn't save the other people, so I don't know why they would care about this so much. It really feels a little bit like, oh, she's so cute though, so I have to save her. But yeah, pushing it harder. Yeah, and of course now it's gonna engage. Oh, is he still loved by her? I guess the red arrow thing with her. Yeah, his strategy is very, very blatant. But honestly, I feel it was really lame how it worked on them. I mean, I am the person that has ever. That's kind of what I mean earlier. I feel negative, but I honestly feel this is pretty. It is pretty badly written. This thing. His second strategy of making her be so vulnerable that they will come and save her, that makes more sense. Yeah, this last bit of the little girl crying, you know, be a hero or not, yeah, this makes much more sense actually than the first strategy. But this is pushing those, you know, nice people to save her, right? But his first strategy, it doesn't actually work. It only works because these other characters are complete idiots. Yeah, like and then you're not a good character, right? This is going back. This is not on the level of talentless Nana, but she could defeat them because everyone was dumb as rocks. So it's not the level of talentless Nana. It really isn't. But it's in a very similar vein where it's like, oh, his strategy, his plan, it works because the other characters are idiots. Like, you know what I mean? It works because, yeah. It works because the other characters are evil. So, I'm not saying that the episode is terrible, but this part, it is badly written. So let's talk about it first. People are going to be angry when I say, oh, Death Note are failing. But really, though, this is badly written. So, I'm just going to point out this thing. The other part of the episode is good, but this part, this is basically, I won't say it's plot hole, but it's almost on the plot hole level. From a plot strategy aspect, it's a plot hole level of issue, right? So, the issue with this thing, which I think is very, very clear, but I'm gonna of course point it out to other people will be angry at me because you're not allowed to critique famous authors, right? But honestly, this is terrible because this particular thing is terrible. The rest of the episode is fine. The last part is fine and so on. I think it's a little bit like too much that of course the main character's gonna fall for it and so on. But like whatever, that is fine from a logical standpoint at least. But this issue here, of course, is that they shoot these two characters, right? And I immediately was like, well, they can just ask them anything now then, right? They can ask them if they're working for him, so yeah. They can just ask these two people, right, Pink and Green Ranger, if they are aligned with him. They can just simply ask them, right? Are they, on the same team or whatever? And if they had done that, because, and why wouldn't they? You can argue that, oh, but they weren't Red Arrows, why would they? Of course they would, because if they had powers? They don't know if they have powers or not, right? If they didn't have powers, you would of course shoot them just to ask them, what is your power, right? And you should say, but they said that they can only shoot, they couldn't fly. Okay, why would I believe that? It said that before I shot them, right? So I would shoot them, of course, and then I would immediately ask them, okay, what's your powers? What's your actual powers? And I'd be like, I'm just a human, right? And then his plan wouldn't work. So his plan is really, really stupid. His plan has zero reason for winning here, except those two characters, even though they were very, very paranoid before. And that's why I think the writing really is terrible, because, you know, before, right? They are like, this red arrow has 33 meters in range, cover my back, best friend. You know, they were very, very like method. They were very, very specific with the strategy. They were very much like, this is how it works, this thing and this thing. They were very, very specific how they were planning out the area, the distance as a red arrow and so on, right? And then they shoot these two people. They don't even ask them the very basic question of, are you working with Metropoliman? They would of course have answered them that they are hired by him by money, right? They would just answer, say, yeah, we're doing it for the money. Or whatever reason, that he kidnapped their loved ones or whatever, you know what I mean? He also could have, you know, forced them, right, by... Is that anything, I don't know why he spent money on them. He could have just, you know, kidnapped their husbands or whatever, right? And, you know, forced her or father or whatever, yeah. He could have made it probably without money. But anyway. Like, it is no reason that they couldn't just, of course... just ask them that. And also then, as I said, either both really, but you know, either ask them what is your powers, because you told me something before I shot you, what is your actual powers, then they will also immediately say I have no powers, right? But you lied, I lied, I have no powers. They will immediately of course say I don't have any powers. That also would have exposed his lies, right? So like either of those basic questions, because even if you somehow, for whatever reason, even if you for whatever dumb reason trusted them about not working with him, why would you do that? But even if you did that, right? Even if you trusted them for some reason, when they were lying to him here, like when they were lying here, they're kind of lying about the powers, right? They're asking them, you know, oh, I have this power before you shoot them. Even if you trust them in that situation, like why would you know, trust them not to lie about their powers, right? And we don't see any angels behind them or whatever. It's like, why would you trust them about their powers? It's also kind of thing too, they don't see any angels behind them, but yeah, at least the girl was cute. Yeah, at least she was kawaii. Yeah, she was at least kawaii when she was waving and so on. It was pretty cute. She was a good cheerleader. But really though, he just deserved to win that. He's not a good bad guy in the sense, right? You know, I want the bad guys to have at least a strategy that makes any sense. His strategy of hiring two people and letting them get shot by red arrows so they could easily just ask them if they're hired or whatever, right? And I mean, the thing is that you don't have to ask them specifically, are you hired by Metropoliman? You just ask them, are you working for Metropoliman? You know, why are you here? Or do you have powers? You know, these very, very basic questions will make them immediately tell you that they are lying, right? This girl, of course, was a real person because she could fly. But yeah, and that's so obvious too, because she could fly and those two couldn't. So it's also very, very different. And it's so weird too, because obviously they're asking, you know, when she kind of entered, then they were like, okay, fly to us very slowly, show your hands, you know. They're like, oh, you want to join us? Yeah, you gotta like show up here, you're gonna come in, yeah, here. They're like, okay, you gotta show up, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna be super, super, you know, slow, hands up in the air, you know what I mean? So what happened with that first? Their characterization makes no sense. Man, I feel really negative, but it really doesn't. Their characterization makes no sense. The more I think about it, the less I like it, honestly. yeah. It's really one of those, the more I think about this, the less it makes any sense, because they were also very, very afraid of her. They were like, stay over there, fly slower to me, come in here, get the hands up. They were very much like, okay, we gotta get distance, we gotta do this thing right, we're gonna do this shit. So they were very much doing that, right? And yet, of course, they don't do it with the other characters. Yeah, they immediately just abandon that characterization with the other two characters. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would they? You know, she showed she could fly, so we knew she had angel powers. We didn't know what they could do. They just walked in there. But yeah, the last scene is good, but I think it has one issue though. Man, I feel very negative now. But this thing I think is kind of strange though, honestly. Not that, you know, she is that he's using her as a bait, right? As a decoy. That's fine. Yeah, that's a good part of it, so definitely. But like, this was a new thing. I don't know. It's not that. This is more nitpicking, I suppose. But I'm just like, wait. Since when does the red arrow not make them do whatever you want? Okay, so there's limits. There's a game character red arrow that was not presented at all in that first episode. No, so that feels like a new rule that got applied there. Okay, so you can ask them. So they are mind control. You can ask them whatever you want, but you can't ask them to die. But you can actually ask them to kind of fight to that. Like, it doesn't make any sense because... And if it actually is... The weird thing is with it is that you can easily just ask someone to like fight someone and die, right? You know, if you ask a human to like the aunt, just fight your husband until you both die. You know, just fight people until you die. They will do that, right? But if you ask them to like just take a bullet, they won't do that. You know what I mean? That's actually a very, very weird specific ruling. So you can control them by asking them to do stuff for you that will make them die, but you can't ask them just to die. Like, it's a very, very... What if you ask them to just jump off a building? Won't they do that? Or will they not do that then? So it feels really weird. So like, oh no, your self-preservance will be active, but it wasn't for the aunt. She was definitely willing to, you know, fight to death drive with her husband. And we see other characters do a similar thing too, right? So no, like... They doesn't at all seem to care about their well-being. So I feel they really changed the rules there. And it's basically just a plot hole from the previous episode. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but how I was presented earlier. The last was the best part. Getting the angel to cry too. Yeah, that was the best part. Getting the cute angel to also cry out. Yeah, that was the best part though. The angel jumped in there too, caring about her little girl. The good part of the episode, let's not only be negative here, but the good part of the episode is a clear plot, right, from per character. So we see these two other guys and their backstory, and the girl was bullied and so on. So it's a very clear thing that the ends up picking up people that have really bad lives, right? That are bullied and they're a failure and they have no family and so on. So they really pick up people that have issues with their family and their home and, you know, generally their life, right? And they're depressed or whatever. So it's definitely a thing that, you know, most, at least everyone so far. I guess the guy with all idol girls, maybe he was something different, but not necessarily. He might also be like have a horrible life and then he got the powers and smash idols, right? So we didn't see his backstory, but Metropoliman, given that he's so evil though, he's like blatantly evil, maybe not for him, but who knows? He also might have a sad backstory, right? Or maybe he has like a sad backstory, but doesn't care about it. He's like, oh, my parents were crazy and he hurt me, but I don't care. He might just be like a bad, you know, instead of being depressed from having a sad life, he might just be like, yeah, screw my family, I killed them, you know. He might be kind of a psychopathic bad life. Right? He's like, I just killed my evil mom, I killed her, killed my dad, you know. He might have that kind of, I guess, take on it. So perhaps he's like, has a similarly, I'll say it, sad backstory, but he doesn't really have like, yeah, like, you know, like he actually cares in the same way as the as the other characters, you know what I mean? That is more fitting for him, right? Yeah, like he has a sad backstory, but he doesn't take it sad. Like, what I mean? Like, it is a sad backstory, but he's like, it wasn't sad, I enjoyed it, you know? You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, I'm not a weakling. Because his personality is very much like only a weakling would, only a coward would, you know, care about that. Yeah, he has the kind of personality. I can definitely see him being like, well, I had a sad backstory, but but not really. Yeah, it wasn't like a real sad backstory. It was more one of those sad backstories where I just accepted it. Yeah, so I'm a man. I wasn't crying. He sounds like that, right? He sounds like that kind of person. That he has a sad backstory, but he's not willing, you know, to admit that he was sad, right? So he's like, yeah, my mom beat me every day, and my father took the belt. You know, I was like, come here, boy. But he was fine. People have worse life than that. You know, he's gonna. I think he's gonna be that guy. Yeah, he's gonna be like, well, my life wasn't that bad. But certainly that seems to be the pattern, right? That definitely is a pattern. I wonder if that matters though. For maybe they have some weird thing. You have to question, but not really that much, but why are these people good for Angel Candidate? Why are they gonna be, you know, heavenly? Because, you know, they all have this sad backstory and so on, right? But, sorry, but yeah, we can question, why are these people God chosen, right? But maybe there's something like God is like, only a person that has been very depressed, whatever, can understand, you know, how it is to be God and have compassion. You need to be a person with a sad life to have compassion or something like that. That definitely might be a thing, right? That they, you know, might some kind of thing. I mean, that's what I can imagine, right? But obviously, Metropoliman is like, he has a sad backstory but doesn't care about it. Probably, I'm guessing, right? So it doesn't really apply 100%, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, something probably like that, right? Poor little cute girl there. It's kind of weird though. One thing I feel is weird is anime. And this is not a problem I think with anime itself. I'm just talking about like I sound so negative now because I read, but I do think it was stupid that they didn't, like, that was really stupid. They didn't ask them questions. That was just poor. That was just poor, man. They didn't ask them any questions. Doesn't make any sense. That I have no problem standing by saying that. But I mean, one thing though that I don't really find like an issue in anime, because it's like how this anime. Oh, this is more this I can smash disbelief on. So this doesn't really bother me. but it is kind of funny is that, I mean, again, this is something I can. It's kind of funny, right? But I think it's easier to suspend this belief that is like, well, who can be God? Well, you know, God is gonna be like a teenager with a psychopath. Like, of course, that's gonna be God. You know, like I have less problem just accepting, you know, like the premise of here's crazy psychotic angels picking up, you know, children to be God. Like, I have no problem with that. That concept is like, hey, it's anime, so let's go with it, right? But I have more problem with like, why are these two guys not asking them questions for? Like, why is it stupid for? But really though, but I think that's a fair point to state, right? Because it's much easier to just accept the premise of like, this is a divine battle of good and evil or whatever. It's wanting to, you know, accept the framework of the anime of the game or whatever, right? But it's hard to accept that, yes, okay, so everyone has angelic powers and they're fighting in this hell dimension, okay, fine, right? But still, they're supposed to be humans getting these powers. Why are they acting so illogically for it? You know what I mean? Like, why is it so incredibly stupid for? And especially because they actually were pretty smart and very paranoid and very like keeping said just the minute before. So they completely abandoned the strategy. They just immediately was like, yeah. That makes it really weird. If they were more dumber before, it wouldn't have been one thing. But last thing though, I'll say before I get here, which I think is, I just wonder this in the anime rules, because the anime keeps adding rules every episode, right? And that is, can you just not kill them? You know, I find that kind of strange, honestly, when you're talking about this whole concept of becoming God and so on. So he's obviously here, you know, killing the little cute girl. He's like, I'm gonna kill the little cute girl, right? But does he have to do that? Isn't that kind of strange? She's like a little 12-year-old or whatever, right? Couldn't he just be like, oh, you're a cute little girl, I'm just gonna, like, you know, take your powers, right? Because, yeah, he's obviously like, I can take the powers, you know, if I defeat them, I can take the powers, right? So that's more a general question for me, though. You just pointed out, right? I'm not saying that this is like a plot or whatever compared to, or like, you know, whatever, like weird, yeah, character. I'm just saying from a general, like, this rule, I guess, rule standpoint, right? Because the anime does unfortunately, you know, like I said, right, the anime unfortunately has a lot of rules that they keep. How to say it, right? The anime has a lot of rules, and then the anime changes those rules, right? Yeah, it changes the rules every episode. It feels like it really feels like they have a lot of rules, and then those rules are true for like maybe like one episode. Yeah, like the anime, it is kind of like that. They have. It is kind of like that. Like, it has rules, right? And then it has rules in a setting, and then it's like, well, actually, the red arrow can only reach this many meters. Oh, okay. Well, actually, the red arrow is like, you can only work on the same yeah, you can't come back here. Fine. Oh, actually, the white arrow, you will actually avoid it even if you red arrow because reason, even though it doesn't make any sense because you just ask them to fight to death anyway. So that really made no sense. If you just asked them to like have on trade or something, probably work. But so yeah, it's like, you know, here's a few new rules, right? And the anime really does that. Yeah, the anime really. Yeah, the anime keep doing that. I mean, what can I say? Yeah, they keep doing that. So I'm just wondering, and that's more from a ruling standpoint, right? Maybe the manga explains it better, right? Maybe the anime is gonna go into this later. But I just imagine that, like, why couldn't I just be like, okay, you're the cute girl, you don't want to be in this race, right, of becoming God, so on. If I can take your wings and give it to my friend over here, whatever, or just take your wings to myself, then you're out of the race. Why do I have to kill them for? You know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, like, why? They never explained this, but why do I have to actually kill you? Can I just make you, like, resign? You know, if I just hit you with a red arrow and ask you to, like, leave the race, won't that be enough? It'd be like, red arrow, give me your powers. Yeah, you love me, give me your powers. Okay, you're out. You know, but what do you have to actually kill them for? I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe you have to, but it feels a little weird. Like, why would the alien god have that rules? They have to actually delete them. Why can't you just be like, I got your powers, so you're out. I'm just saying, right? It doesn't matter that much, but I expect the main character to be like, oh, can I just have your powers then? And then you can leave, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like, why do you have to like actually hurt them, right? If they don't want to be in the race anyway. It's, that's just kind of strange. But anyway, guys, that's Purachina Endo. I felt very critical, but it really felt like... I mean, I was critical before I watched the episode. I admit that, and as I said, I have high expectations, right, from the Death Note authors. And then we come into this stuff, and I really feel it's not really living up to my expectations whatsoever. People are gonna say, oh, I'm just too harsh on it because Death Note and so on. And that is fair. I probably am harsher than I would be otherwise. But I still would be definitely as harsh on this, like, red arrow shit not being played out. So that's the exact same issue how Nana, for example, would win every time in Tenden's Nana. She would do a really dumb plan, and then the other characters would not be able to, you know, see that she's the villain or whatever, even though it's so obvious. Especially in one episode that she kills a guy and then they revive him, and then they don't ask the questions. It's like the dumbest. It could be one of the dumbest things I've seen in my life. Not to spoil it too much, but basically in Nana, there's one person that can like, resurrect people. So she can talk to this guy. He can like, so she Nana has killed X people, right? She killed people, yeah, like some dead people, right? And then a guy can like resurrect people, so he can talk to the dead people. He'll be like, "Who killed you?" He just ask this guy, "Who killed you?" So he's like reviving the guy that the main character has killed, and then immediately the main character is like, "Oh no, it's like against culture and to like revive people or something." Yeah, it's like it's really like off-putting, like yeah, it's against his last will or something. You know, it's like it's completely random shit. I can read his brain and feel that. It's completely random. And then the characters are like, oh, okay then. So they stop doing it, even though the guy with the revive power, the zombie power, like undead power, there, yeah, necromantic power. He had already revived the dead guy. He was already like alive, undead. He was already turning him into like whatever undead thing is. But he was like, okay, sorry about that, and he just puts her down like that, and he's like, oh, you say that? Okay, and then he's like, just pushes him down into the, like, okay, we're gonna like put it back again. Like, that's, that's the level of absurd stupidity of the other characters. You could, it's in one question, like, who killed you? Then you can put it down, yeah. He's already back alive, it's like, who killed you? We don't do it. And this kind of fit here, they hit him with the red arrow, and they don't even ask him one question, just ask him one question, it's one question. Just ask them, who do you work for Metropoliman, or do you have actual powers? Are you a fake angel, or you're a fake candidate, or you're a real candidate? Because I immediately was like, why are you walking there? They're like, oh, I have no power, I can fly, I only have red arrow. I would never trust that, it's very basic paranoia. I was like, that seems very too, yeah, why are you walking up here? Just walking in here? It just felt really weird, right? It felt very sus, right? And these guys are like, oh, yeah, let's just trust them for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. It frustrates me. Well, anyway, guys, subscribe, passa lá pra seguir essa Black Clover. Yeah.